Hi everyone, back with Hayden, and we're outside. It's one of the longest days of the year. Blah! The problem with being outside are bugs. Don't like bugs. So I thought I'd show you something today, and Hayden's going to show something today. We were at the store, and we found, you know, the fidget spinner things, but I love the sound of this one.
Huh? Oh.
It's the futz spinner. The futz spinner. I guess when you say, oh, I'm just futzing around, you're futzing with your futz spinner.
I guess it's
ABS with metallic finish. High spin bearings for optimum performance. Keep dry, lubricate bearings after long periods of non-use. Well, I put that stuff on anyway. Whee! So I'm going to put some Teflon on this. This was interesting because it has ball bearings. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so there you go. A metallic futz spinner for your futzing time.
Futz.
Futz. That's a good word. I actually say that sometimes. What are you futzing around for?
Yeah.
So I guess instead of fidgeting, you futz. It's a good word. Alright, Hayden, what do you want to show everybody? You know, Hayden is into making stop motion animation. He loves doing it, and there must be something that always needs to learn to. So Hayden, what are you going to show? And what are you going to explain?
Well, you know, I chose some of the Thomas Railway things that I enjoy. And,
Speak up so people can hear you.
I picked some of the Thomas Wooden Railway stuff that I enjoy. And, you know, I just kind of wanted to explain it a bit.
Alright, so what do we have first?
Let's see which one should probably go first. I chose this one. It's George the Steamroller.
Bunny's out there, they're probably sniffing it. So George the Steamroller, what's his background? What's the story about George?
Basically, George, he was introduced in the Railway series as, well, he's a steamroller. He makes roads, and naturally, he has a disdain for railways.
Oh.
And basically, he was introduced along with the narrow gauge engines, and, well,
come here. Okay.
And he had an interesting dynamic with Sir Handel, and then they just kind of got rid of him.
They got rid of George?
Well, I mean, after he had an episode in season 5. Well, okay. He had an episode in season 5.
Hold on, you can keep talking to them.
Okay. Alright. Oh, God. Oh, just getting fenced. Hey, it's me. Okay. George or whatever. Okay. Okay, George, he was introduced with narrow gauge engines during the Railway series. And the thing about George, while having an interesting dynamic with Sir Handel, he also, he was featured in, I think, one episode in season 4, where basically it's like, oh, Sir Handel has broad tires on his wheels, because they never adapted a Railway series story. So he just now has tires. It's a Railway series story. And basically, George is there, and Sir Handel won't stop gloating about his strong wheels, and, oh, I can go faster than any of you. So Scarlo, he says, oh, you're just the engine to tackle George, and and everything goes wrong. And due to kids, he ends up shutting up. He had an episode in season 5. He was vaguely mentioned in Calling All Engines, and then he just disappeared, and I don't know why. But they're bringing back old characters, so maybe he'll come back. I don't know. I know, I like the old wooden railway model. Basically, you spin it, the flywheel spins. It's a good face. George. Oh, hey, you're back.
I'm back. To wash Otis's paws because they were dirty. He was digging, and he splashed me in the face. So sorry.
Okay, so the other one I have, it's pretty recent, 2 years ago. It's 1942, Thomas. And basically, 2015 was the 70th anniversary of the entire franchise, back when it was the first Railway series story was published in 1945. And the Reverend Audrey, he would tell these, he would make up the stories about trains for his kids. Well, his son Christopher, he first started telling Christopher Audrey his stories when he was bedridden with measles. Oh my. And it's like, and he made this little train model out of a broom handle, and he said, he's like, I want a name for it. And he said, well, how about Thomas the Tank Engine? That's what Christopher said. And
that's the original.
Yeah, it's
shape
based
of
off.
Thomas.
It's based off of
the original.
Yeah,
the broom handle.
The broom handle. It's a real engine. I don't know what it's called, but of course, when the Railway series was drawn, he was an E2 class, which is what he still is today. And yeah, so it's a nice model. It represents it well. They have the little slits in the wheels, and they're all smooth instead of the dang it, spoilers. I can't. Yeah, but basically the normal wooden railway wheels are different, so they decided to change them. And his size is different. You see, everything else is a certain
width and height. Right?
Well, width can be kind of varied, but his height is what is different, because he can't fit under most tunnels and bridges, and his length he's longer than most things, but he's still shorter than the bigger ones. So tight turns are impossible for him. It's just kind of sad, but
so they had to redesign Thomas. Hey, I got some trivia for you. Let's see if you know this. So Reverend Audrey wrote the stories for his son Christopher.
Yeah.
There's another book, a series of books, written by an Englishman for his son Christopher. Do you know what that is? It's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
By A.A. Milne. His son Christopher, he wrote for him.
Okay.
So that's why there's Christopher Robin.
It's been a while, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's 1942, Thomas. That's good.
Oh my gosh. The sun.
Yes, the sun is disappearing behind the clouds.
Very pretty. Okay. Alright, what else do you have to show? There's bugs out here.
This old, I think this is an original, maybe early 2000s or late 90s, Trevor the traction engine. Basically, Trevor, this whole story behind Trevor, from what I know, I haven't read the Railway series story, so this is just going off my memory of the episodes. Basically, Edward is going off. He had to deliver stuff to a smelter's yard, and there was Trevor. He's like, oh, I used to be really useful, and stuff like that. And Edward wanted to help him, and to help him, well, it turned out the vicar, whatever that means, if you know what that means.
Yeah, it's a person who is like a minister.
Okay. Needed something to help him with the orchard, I guess. And, well, he told him about Trevor, and Trevor is now all good again.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, Trevor the traction engine, he was an alright character. I don't think he was incredibly deep in any way, other than he's a connection with Edward, and he was saved from scrap.
Cool. All right.
I mean, the model's nice. It's a good face. I like this model a lot. I don't know, just how simplistic it is. Trevor, you spin the back wheel and the flywheel goes. They actually did bring him back recently in a season 20 episode. And they made another wooden railway model, even though he only said a total of 10 words. And he got a load of merchandise, but the wooden railway model, I don't know, it just The new one, it just doesn't... I like the old one much better.
Doesn't have that certain je ne sais quoi.
What she
Something
said.
you can't describe.
Okay. And, okay, second one.
Second one?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's just old. It's just a Bertie model. That's all it is. But it's old.
Bertie the bus.
Yeah, it's Bertie the bus. I mean, it's not much to it. It's pretty simple. It's Bertie, but
You notice this guy in the window here?
this is the reason it shows it.
Oh.
There was actually, parents got riled up that there was a man smoking a pipe inside.
I just thought it was Sherlock Holmes.
I mean, it may be a reference,
I don't know.
but
Oh, but people got upset because somebody was smoking?
yes, they
That's
got...
silly.
Yeah, and ever since then, every Bertie model that they have released has never had people inside of him. You can never see the people. So that's why this is special.
Yeah.
I also enjoy the face. It's very nice. It captures the old TV show.
Okay.
And
Cool.
he's still used heavily today. This is the only character that they still basically use as in the show regularly.
Okay.
All the other ones are kind of obscure. One of them doesn't even appear in the show. This last one.
Alright.
It's because of something I found out recently that made me want to choose this. And I've always liked this. This is one of my favorite models from the railway. This is Fergus. This is Fergus, the railway traction engine. There's not much about Fergus.
He's got teeth.
Yes, some of them have teeth. Surprise. Well, I mean, they all do, but...
Right,
sometimes
they're not, their faces aren't usually like
Yeah.
that.
A lot of my wooden railway models are early 2000s or 90s. This is an early 2000 model, but I like it because it's different. It's a nice color. It's Fergus, and I mean, he's got some nice detailing on all the sides. He even has some plastic bits, which are really well. And the flywheel contraption is a little bit more because you have this part on the top. But the thing that gets me about him the most is that he was in only 3 episodes. Now, while 2 other characters from season 7, which is where Fergus is from, also had pretty minuscule appearances, they appeared again later in the series, whether it was just a shameless cameo or not, because they did that a lot later. Basically, the 2 characters I'm getting at are Arthur and Murdoch. Those are 2 other season 7 characters, and Arthur was used later in the model era, before they switched to CG, I think around season 9 or 10. And Murdoch, I don't know much about him, but I do know that he appeared in one season 12 episode. Season 12 was weird. They had the models, but they CG'd the faces.
Oh, yeah,
the
you didn't
model.
like that.
Yeah, it was weird. But basically, Murdoch appeared for just some reason. But Fergus appeared for 3 episodes and just disappeared. And the reason I found out why, well, at least it's a fan theory, is that
Take it for what it's worth.
basically the last episode he was featured in, which was still in season 7, because that was the last season produced by Brett Allcroft before Hit bought the franchise.
Oh, okay.
The last episode he was in, there was a scene with a rock slide and he was caught in it. And the Fergus model was damaged. And fans think that that's why he never appeared again, because the model was damaged.
That's an interesting theory.
So, yeah, he's never come back again, but what's weird is that they're introducing a character in the latest special that's not out yet by the time we're recording this, so...
At the time.
Yeah. Named Theo, and he's also in a railway traction engine, different design, but... And what's weird is that he almost kind of has the same face. it's kind of weird, but I like Fergus. He's nice. I actually have 2 models of him, but one of them is in better shape than the other. And this is the better one.
Oh, well, thank you for showing us your choices today.
Yeah.
And all right, we got to have our debate. When we think about the Thomas episodes, who's your favorite narrator?
Okay, let's see. There's There's a lot of narrators. So
there's a lot of narrators, yeah.
Let's see. There was okay, so let's see. There was
Ringo.
Let's see. There's Ringo. There's Ringo Starr, George Carlin, Michael Angelis.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin, Michael Brandon, and this new guy that they have.
Okay.
The narrator isn't actually as prevalent as he was, because now they
all just kind of talk their way through?
Well, no, it's just they all have individual voice actors now, so...
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I meant, they kind of all...
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, he's still there, but it's not always just the narrator. Let's see.
Instead of the narrator doing all the voices.
Yeah. So, let's see. Ringo was good, but, yeah... I didn't really enjoy Michael Brandon. He felt pretty basic. Michael Angelis, he had a lot of energy in the early seasons, but when you're doing seasons 3 through 16...
Oh my.
Yeah, so like early 90s through early 2010s.
Yeah.
I don't know, he just lost his energy. Yeah, they started using the voice actors, but around season 7, he just lost. I don't know. It just seemed kind of plain and bland. Yeah. I enjoy Michael Angelis for what he does. He gives distinct voices. And, I mean, he at least tries. I don't know.
So it's hard to pick.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin, he was good.
Alec Baldwin.
I mean, he put a lot of emphasis on things, but I don't know. All the character voices ended up sounding the same.
Like Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
But I think he gave the right emotion.
Yeah, he did. But I like George Carlin a lot as the narrator.
George Carlin.
Well, no. I mean, I didn't even know what George Carlin did until recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a string when they chose George Carlin to replace Ringo. People were saying, "What? What?"
Well, I actually know why. It's because he wanted adults to see a different side of him, a different side of his work. So yeah.
George Carlin was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed George because he it didn't feel
I think he sounded to me like he was really enjoying himself.
Yeah, and he gave characters different voices, but
Yeah,
I feel like the ones that Baldwin did, while they were a little bit more like distinct, they sounded weird.
Yeah, he didn't change his voice tone as much as George Carlin.
Yeah, and George, not even that, but he was on the series longer. Season 1 through 4. Well, Alec Baldwin was only 5 through 6. No, Magic Railroad does not count.
I mean, I liked Ringo for what he was worth too, because that's the first Thomas's I saw was with Ringo, and but I mean, he's Ringo. You can't not like him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard pick between George Carlin and Alec Baldwin. I don't know, I like them both.
Oh, okay. There you go. So that's our special for Thomas today. And thank you for joining us as always. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Hayden knows it all about Thomas. Give us a thumbs up, especially for this handsome smart boy. Subscribe if you haven't. And can't tell. I don't know if rain's going to come. I don't know if you've been watching the sky. We will talk to you later. Have a great night.